Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lex, and on today's broadcast, I will be discussing a topic very near and dear to my heart. Today, I will be discussing how Pokémon helped me get through some of the hardest times in my life, and why it will forever hold a special place in my little old heart. Also, my favorite Pokémon of all time is Piplup. Just look at it. It's a big round baby penguin, and what is there not to love about it? If you are new to this channel, I was born in 2003, about 5 years after the Pokemania craze had come and gone in North America in 1998. By the time I was born, the franchise was fairly new, but not as popular as it had been just a few short years earlier. I hadn't heard of Pokemon when I was around 8 years old, when the older son of my mom's friend came over, and he had brought his Nintendo DS. What he was playing on his DS was a copy of Pokemon Black and White, the newest game at the time. I hadn't seen it before, and I watched him like a magpie to a pretty necklace. I asked my parents for a DS of my own, and I would get one later that year, but the game they gave me wasn't Pokemon related, but a Tinkerbell game, which was the first video game that I ever played. Very different from the games that I play today, like Street Fighter. Then Mom's friend, the same one whose son had visited earlier, was actually the one who gave me my very first copy of Pokemon White. I was very happy, despite knowing nothing of Pokemon aside from what the son had told me. As a young child, I learned to read through the subtitles of the Disney movies that I somehow turned on, and I loved to read all kinds of books. I actually had one teacher, I believe it was in grade 8, he got mad at me because I was reading a history book for silent reading and then banned me from reading it, but that's a story for a different day. Pokemon was a game series that was very text heavy, and it still is very text heavy, so it was like being in a choose your own adventure story. In the case of Pokemon Black and White, the player can choose between a boy or girl character aged 14 to start their journey. Their journey starts with their childhood friends, Sharon and Bianca, as the two select their first Pokemon as a gift from Professor Juniper, and in every single Pokemon game that's ever been released, all of the professors are named after trees of some kind. The friends wander into the world of Unova, which is based on New York, as they travel to the various towns and cities in order to become stronger with their chosen Pokemon. One of my favorite things to do in these games was the Pokemon musical, which involved dressing up your Pokemon in cute little outfits. The titles of the game, Black and White, represent the themes of truth versus ideals, nature versus technology, basically conflicting ideas, and seeing how those ideas can either change the world or destroy it. Many modern-day children's books don't even go that far in their themes anymore. As a kid, I wasn't treated very nicely by the other girls because I would have epileptic problems, and I was a total dork. I am still a total dork. And I was happy to just be in my own little world with my dolls and my books, and because those girls were not very nice to me during primary school, I got left out of a lot of things. There was one teacher who I shall call Miss Shelley. Miss Shelley said that she did not give me a lead role in the school plays because of my epilepsy, saying that she did not want an incident on stage. Would you be surprised, dear viewer, if I told you that Miss Shelley was a very bitter woman who should not have been around children to start with? In Pokemon, it felt nice to be the hero of the story, where nobody would make fun of me for being different or for what I liked. And I would spend so much time as a kid playing Pokemon White, and even now when I hear the music for the game, it brings me back to how much fun I had playing it as a kid. I went and replayed the game to get footage for the video, and I lost track of time and played for nearly 5 hours just because of how much fun I was having. My younger sister, Blueberry, would watch me play the game, and eventually she asked our parents for her own copy of the game and her own DS. She got the corresponding version, Pokemon Black, we would play alongside each other and would get both editions of each subsequent Pokemon game that was released over the years. Normally this would mean my sister picked the version she wanted and I would get the other one by default. I have many happy memories of watching the Pokemon show on TV with my sister and playing it with her. When my mom first got sick about 11 years ago, it's been a long time, it didn't really compute with me at that age just how dire the situation of events was, but at the same time I knew something was very wrong. At the time, the newest Pokemon games were Pokemon X and Y for the Nintendo 3DS, and they were the first fully 3D mainline games. In those games, players were able to customize their character for the first time with all sorts of clothes, and I loved dressing up my character and spending so many hours coming up with different outfits for different occasions, and I still do that in games like Dreamlight Valley, so it's nice to see that some things never change. When Omega Ruby released in 2014, I named the cosplay Pikachu Belle, since I was in the school play of the Disney adaptation of Beauty and the Beast. When my world got turned upside down, for lack of better wording, in December 2022, and I was at my absolute lowest point I think I've ever been, I booted up my Nintendo Switch and played Pokemon Violet, which had been released just a month prior. It helped me to relax, and I even uploaded some videos I had recorded of me playing way back. To make a long story short, Pokemon really helped me get through some very rough times with its memorable characters, the dynamic storytelling, and beautifully made music. If you learn anything from this video, it is to listen to the Pokemon Black and White soundtrack. It is wonderfully made and has some amazing pieces in it. Even now, when I was replaying Pokemon White, it was the calmest I have felt in a very long time. Before I leave you all this fine morning, afternoon, evening, or whenever you may be watching this video, I would like to leave you all with a fun fact. Did you know that Empoleon, the final form of Piplup, was partially based on Napoleon? Its Japanese name is a combination of Emperor, most likely Emperor Penguin, as well as the title, and Napoleon, and its Japanese name is Empart, a combination of Emperor and Bonaparte, Napoleon's last name. In fact, nearly all translations of Empoleon's name involved some variant of Napoleon's name. I just think languages are interesting to see how a similar concept can be translated in so many different ways. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more of my content, then please subscribe to Sweet Histortea, a channel full of random facts, lots of sparkles, and tons more videos to come in the future. Thank you so much again for watching, and until next time, bye-bye!
There's a part of myself that I'm missing.